Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to your Slightly Average Guys podcast. We do this every single week. We do it every Wednesday, roughly around 8 o'clock. If you've been watching, we're plus or minus like 15 minutes every once in a while. But we appreciate your patience. You will see that countdown, so you know exactly when we're going to start once we officially go live. But welcome, Slightly Average Guys podcast. We got Andy Nassif, Ryan Cole, and myself, Ryan Teeter. Let's see what we got in store for today. Thanks for joining.
I really need to get like special effects noises, so we can just jazz it up from that. Like as soon as we come out of the music from the countdown. What do you guys think?
You don't have those yet.
No, I don't.
You don't?
Wait, maybe I do. Wait,
Oh.
do I?
Oh.
Like what's in here? Oh, that's just music. That's just music.
Okay, so you're just talking about like horns and what you need is an audience clap as well. Like if something we say funny, instead of everybody just laughing in the chat, right, saying ha ha and LOL.
Yeah, exactly.
Just give an audience clap.
Yeah, like totally full out. Like if anybody's in the chat and they really start, laughing it up. Ooh, I bet you I could program it to where if they did a certain emoji, it would actually just automatically come through.
Yeah,
that would be even better. That would be like. As soon as McLovin, like, types something, it just starts playing the lollipop gill. We represent the lollipop gill. It's funny because it's an inside joke. All right. So it is February 3rd of 2021, which means this weekend is the Super Bowl. Now, Tampa Bay versus Kansas City. Andy, who do you got and why? Like, who's your pick? Or do you just not even care?
Well, I don't care, but I don't care from neither of my teams, right? But I care from a different perspective. So I'm going to go Tom Brady in Tampa Bay because I think it's neat that we get to watch somebody that's been so good for so long. And you don't get to see that very often. Like we had the opportunity to watch Michael Jordan. And then, you hear about other guys that were just amazing or women that were amazing. So I like that part of it. But I just think that to have the ability to go play in your 10th Super Bowl and potentially win your 7th is just – I don't know how you overcome that. Yeah. Now, the Chiefs are amazing, but I don't know.
Yeah, see, I'm originally from Indiana, so I'm a Colts fan. And, like, I always hated Tom Brady and the Patriots, And it's funny because, like, I really want them to win just because, like, not only do you leave your team that you've been with for, since the beginning, you go to a team that's not, like, when was the last time they were even in, like, the Super Bowl?
Tampa Bay was, like, the late 90s, I think they won.
Yeah, like, not even win, just in it, Like, so, like, and like, I figured he would potentially get there, like, after maybe 2 years, like, really, like, no. They did it on a single year. That's what's crazy about it.
And this is the first time ever in the history of the NFL, Super Bowl's been at the home team is playing in their stadium. So I think that's such a – now, I don't know how many people are going to let in the stadium, but I don't know. That's an advantage nobody's ever had.
Yeah.
So I got to imagine that there's some sort of mental thing where you're playing in your own stadium and, you've got that this is our house mentality. I think that makes a huge impact to you in this level of game.
Yeah.
So I'm just as a motivation type thing as well, right? They're not going to allow that many people probably into the Super Bowl, but it's a momentum and it's a motivation thing for sure.
Yeah,
I got the inside scoop. They're letting 27,000 people into the Super Bowl. I'm probably not really supposed to say that, but oh well.
I wonder how many people that holds. Probably 60,000. So
yeah, every other seat is filled with a cardboard cutout. Every single other seat is from my understanding. I know how many we printed, so I could tell you that.
Yeah, sorry, Roger. I look extremely blurry. I tried to fix it. You might have seen my hand go in front of the camera, but it's not working. I might just step back out and step back in, see if it refocuses. But yeah, thanks for pointing that out. But I am really excited as far as like the team picks. Again, to see this monstrosity of a player, Tom Brady, just get back in there and light shit up.
Yeah.
I have a couple friends that are Chiefs fans, right? And, sometimes when you don't really care about teams in the Super Bowl, you probably just lean towards your friends, right? But I don't care. Tom Brady has been impressive.
Yep.
forever. He's always been good, right? He's worked his way. I think he deserves this win, especially being at a new team. And the Chiefs just won it, I think, what was it, last year, right? I mean, it literally was last year. So, again, it would be awesome if they won 2 years in a row. I don't think that's ever been done. I don't think so. But then for Tom Brady's career, and he doesn't need this win to be in the Hall of Fame. He doesn't need this to be the best quarterback ever. But just how cool would that be, taking a completely new team to the Super Bowl? Yeah. Plus, in addition to that, never really been a Tom Brady fan. Also never really followed him, right? So not really following him now, but I have seen a lot of his off-field type mentalities and off-field, just what he does off the field. And I think a lot of that as well has just made me kind of respect the guy a lot more. So it's been interesting to watch him. Not saying that he hasn't been great off the field in prior years. I just really have never seen that until this year.
Yeah, they showed him, after the game with the Saints, ended up being Drew Brees' last game, and he's out there, hanging out with Drew's kids and everything, and just, having a good time, and just, man, it really good sportsmanship, which you normally wouldn't think of, at least for me, when I think of Tom Brady originally prior to this year. All right, is there any food that you guys are like at a Super Bowl party? This is my go-to. It has to be there. It's either the thing I'm bringing or the thing that needs to be there 100%. Ryan, let's kick it off with you and see what you can come up with.
I mean, obviously chips and salsa. I'm pretty sure that's number one. That's the easiest thing you could possibly bring to a Super Bowl. It's absolutely going to be there 100% of the time. Whether it's chips and dip, chips and salsa, chips and sour cream, there's going to be chips and dip. You can absolutely expect that. One of the things that you just mentioned, Ryan, you're probably going to have a little get together of some sort potentially. I don't know if that's official. It's just maybe what I heard. But if my dad shows up to that Super Bowl party, get together, whatever, if it's going down, and he doesn't bring some wings, I'm going to be really mad. Last time I missed those wings that he made, I think we might have talked about it in the podcast, actually. I missed those. I am not missing those again. If I have to cancel everything that I'm doing, if I have to go to the hospital for a baby being born, just kidding, it's not happening. I am canceling it.
What's funny about that, so everybody knows, there is a place in Michigan, right across the border from Indiana, that is called Greenbush. It's a Greenbush Brewing. Ironically enough, I'm wearing their hat right now. A freaking number one, wings ever. They're amazing, straight amazing. And obviously you can't get them all the way out here. And they always served their jerk wings, and they had the jerk pepper seasoning that you could put on, stuff, which was okay. You could tell it had the flavor, but it was missing something. And they recently came out with their jerk sauce that oh dude, it is right there with what, they have back there. And Ryan was too busy. He couldn't come over. So I don't, they may or may not. And we were just kicking around the idea today. I was talking to my wife and saying, well, maybe we'll have, some of the family over and just get some few eats and just hang out a little bit, so we'll see what happens. But mine is either wings or nachos. It has to be nachos. It can't just be chips and salsa. It's got those are my I want to have those. And by the way, I can't. I can have wings. I can have wings, so that is definitely happening. But can't have chips and salsa this time, so that sucks. But Andy, what's yours?
So I'm all on board on wings. I think that's a must-have. And then something barbecue. So last year I did wings. I smoked some chicken wings, and then I also made ribs. So this year I'm going to do pulled pork. So I'm all for wings of some type. Typically we'll just buy them. I don't mind making them, but there's that. They're really good from this place or that place, and then you do them at home and they're they're not bad. But I really, really like doing barbecue with something, so I'm going to do pulled pork, and then we'll probably do some other sub type of thing, something for kids, right? So I always try to do something for all the kids, because typically they won't eat what we make, but they love all the appetizers and all that other stuff. So, but I'm a big fan of just snacking food. It can be veggies, it can be chips, it can be whatever. I just want to pick and just kind of eat and just throughout the whole time.
I'm gonna switch something up a little bit and ask a different question. Bring all the food you want. That's great. If you could have anybody cater to your Super Bowl event, who would you have cater?
Wait, what's the price range? Like, are we talking like there's no price, or are we talking like it's got to be reasonable? But
We're just talking like it's not like you're gonna bring in I don't know, some French stuff from Paris, and it's just stuff around Phoenix, right?
I'm saying you
You're
could
just
go to
gonna-
Mastro's and have them, cater your thing, and you're in there to a couple of grand for
Okay.
20 people maybe.
If that's what you want to do, that's great. But yeah, something reasonable, something you just cater at a kid's birthday party or something.
I mean, the end. You had me. Peter Piper Pizza. Like that's where you went at the end. Like
You're not gonna cater steaks at a kid's birthday event. You know what I mean? So something that's more family friendly because not everybody likes red meat. So go, either one of you.
Man, that's a tough one.
I know mine, Jimmy John's. I'm catering Jimmy John's.
I mean, if we're on that
all
level,
day.
Chick-fil-A, because Chick-fil-A nuggets and their wraps, I don't care what you get, they're freaking good. You know?
But they're closed on Sundays, so you can't.
No, he changed the rules by saying it just like a kids event.
Man, I don't know. I'm not
Subway,
sure.
Buffalo Wild Wings, etc. Valley Luna, Mexican food.
I don't know. I really have no idea who I would have catered. I guess for me that day is more about like what can we make and have fun doing rather than bringing in food from somewhere else. Like even if I go buy wings from like Zips, I love their wings. I'd rather still make other things and add. So I don't know if I would.
Okay.
Yeah. Like
Understandable.
I think
Respect
part of it.
the answer of declining my question.
So
I think what he's trying to say is that the part of the Super Bowl that he likes, regardless of whoever's playing, is he likes cooking. So that works well
Yeah.
for him.
yeah.
I respect that answer.
Yeah.
All right.
First, I thought you meant like if I could have a chef or cook or something come rather than like just a random restaurant. That'd be a tough question too. I don't have an answer for that.
Not for me. Dad's coming.
Oh, geez. Okay. Random question. We're gonna move it up in the lineup here.
Okay.
What is something that you're supposed to like, but you find kind of annoying or really annoying? And I'm talking like it can be like rearrange it. Like, okay, society says you should like this, like ranch dressing, but you may hate ranch dressing just because everybody says ranch is great on everything. I disagree. I'm not a ranch hater. I'm just saying it doesn't work on everything.
Hot sauce.
That's yours.
Hot sauce. No, it's not. It's not. I was just adding to that list. Like hot sauce. Some people put hot sauce in their eggs. I'm like, what are you doing? Even though now, I secretly do that, but nobody really has to know that. So
Hey, I actually have no
Like-
problem with hot sauce. It's people that put ketchup on their eggs. Like, what are you doing?
Yes.
What are you doing?
Ketchup.
Or like
Yeah.
chunky peanut butter. No.
Yeah. Oh man.
Don't get us on that grind of PB&Js again. We had a long discussion. Go back to episode like 1, 2, or 3.
Andy,
That's great.
do you have something that you should like but you don't?
Yeah, I think two things. One is eating healthy and exercising. I mean, I'm supposed to like it and supposed to do it. No, I don't want to, and it's annoying that I have to or I need to. I don't like that.
Yeah, mine was gonna be exercise because it's like it's weird though because like I get done and I'm not mad that I'm like I did it right. You never like look back and you're like, man, I wish I wouldn't have fucking wasted that 20 minutes or hour, however long you worked out, right? But at the same time, you just find it annoying. Like I'd rather be eating a Big Mac right now. Hey, Ryan, what is yours?
I know and I'll just comment on that workout thing. I know some people have like those different mentalities. Like they love working out and that's their hobby and that's great. Good for you. But you can't tell me that person doesn't like to sit on the couch and eat a Big Mac.
Right.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Everybody likes to do that. Don't lie.
Criminal.
But anyways, I read that question and I heard you say it to me and I instantly just thought of like food. I think society tells you need to like chocolate. Chocolate is the best. I'm sure like Corey loves chocolate herself, right? I'm pretty sure every woman likes chocolate, right? I'm just gonna throw that out there. I don't really like chocolate. Will I eat it? Yeah, absolutely. But like vanilla ice cream all day, vanilla cake all day, chocolate chip cookies, gross. Don't get those. Don't cook those. Don't. I hate those. Peanut butter, sugar cookies, all that good stuff. Chocolate covered donuts, gross. Get them away from me. I just don't. I can appreciate chocolate. My favorite candy bar is a Snickers. I do like some chocolate, but I feel like chocolate is just like the normal.
That's because it's also overdone. Like, like it's never like, hey, just chocolate. It's like chocolate cake with chocolate icing. It's like, no, no, stop it. Just vanilla cake with chocolate icing. Do like one piece of it. Like, don't overdo it. I'm kind of with you on the chocolate one, especially with the cake stuff. Not with the cookies though. You lost me at the cookies. Like, you can give me, Yeah.
Now, would I like and enjoy a good, perfectly straight out of the oven, like chocolate chip cookie? Like, yes, absolutely. But like most chocolate chip cookies I eat are not that way. They're like these hard chunks in the middle that you're just like, gross.
So you want the really soft ones where you like can break it and it's like gooey.
I want the ones that come out of the commercials. It's really hard to ask.
That's actually not really food. It's like silicone that they spray painted and everything else and used a heat gun, and it's isn't there a show on Netflix about that, about how it's not actually food? There's a show somewhere. It might be on Hulu.
Yeah, like milk is like glue or some shit.
Yeah.
But you're telling me if that fake cookie wasn't in front of you, you would not give it a bite.
Oh, I'm telling you, I would. The only thing that comes the closest to like that always soft kind, not gooey, but always soft, is a Panera Bread cookies. Like those are the ones that can come the closest. But anyway, all right. So I appreciate you guys answering that one, and
it's kind of a tough one.
It is because you can go so many different ways with it. I like first thing that actually came to my mind was college, right? It's the one thing that everybody says that you should like, you should do. No, sorry. I started college. I didn't finish college. I couldn't stand it. I could not stand being taught something that all of this crap that did not matter for what I was actually going to college for. And meanwhile, all the tech was way too old that they were actually trying to teach me at that time. But again, I find it super annoying. Everybody else finds it like society says you should do it. And hey, everybody had a good time. Like, hey, Ryan, are you happy you spent like $75,000 to party for 4 years?
Yes.
See?
Well, yeah.
See?
That answer is yes.
Yeah. I'm not. I had to pay for my wife, so I'm not.
Yeah, understandable.
Anyway.
Boiler up.
Okay.
Gotta be repping.
All right. I'm gonna throw out something here. Okay. I kind of want to know. It's kind of another random question, and I apologize for throwing this at you, but I want to know if you guys are antisocial. Wow, I go antisocial, and how antisocial are you? And I kind of need an example. Like, I'm so antisocial, I never look people in the eyes. I'm always walking down the sidewalk with my eyes down. Like it's funny with everybody's phones now. Like, it's so used to like easy just to look down and start to walk even when somebody's coming at you, rather than make eye contact, say hello. I'm even talking pre-COVID, right? Do you have anything? Do either of you think that you're antisocial?
I think so. I think I have my moments where, if I'm in unfamiliar territory or like hostile territory, I'll just kind of keep to myself. But even at work with, when I worked with everybody that we knew, I just kind of hang out a little bit. But I have these like waves of, I want to be a butterfly and I just want to sit in my office in my cave. So I guess it just depends on how my mood is. But I don't know. I guess I'm like in the middle.
All right, Ryan.
The first thing that came to mind when you said that was like walking by people, because you kind of had mentioned that, right? Also, I'd take driving by people. I live in an apartment complex. Other people might live in an actual neighborhood where it's probably a little bit more friendly, maybe not. But like, I'm talking like Midwest type stuff. It didn't matter in the Midwest. Everybody looked at each other. If you were driving by, if you were walking by the neighborhood, everybody was like, what up, Tom? How you doing? How's the dog? How's your ankle? I know you had surgery. I'm just like, okay, that's cool. And like, I come to Phoenix, and now I've lived here for what, like 6-7 years now, somewhere around there. I go walk the dog, and I'm like you said, Ryan, like kind of looking down, like minding my own business, because that's what I know physicians or whatever we call ourselves, they like to do.
Sure.
So I'm like looking down, but I'm also like peeking up just in case they say hi. Because if they say hi and I don't, then I just look like an asshole.
You'll engage if they engage, but you're not going to be the one that initiates it.
Yeah. So
All right.
I'm like, yes, I can absolutely be social, but in most cases, I don't want to be the guy who's like, hey, because I know some people are uncomfortable with that, especially out in Phoenix. And same with driving by people as well. But would I consider myself antisocial overall? I would say absolutely not.
Okay. Like for me, like it's weird. Like anybody that's worked like knows that I like to get out, talk with everybody in the office. I'm the one cracking jokes and everything. I kind of hide behind that, but like I have like terrible anxiety when I'm around like groups of people, especially when it's people I don't know. I like terrible anxiety. So like I've kind of become a hermit. Like this is pre-COVID outside of work, you know, and COVID has not helped with it. Like I'm so antisocial now that if I swipe my credit card at a gas pump and it says see cashier, I just fucking leave.
Ryan, that is so bad.
I was like, see cashier. Oh, fuck that. I ain't gonna happen. Here, I'll pull out a different credit card. Try that. You know, anything. I don't want human interaction.
That is hilarious.
Awesome.
I thought maybe I was the only one.
Teeter, I think you need to buy a Jeep then, because then that way when you have a Jeep, you just wave to other people in Jeeps and you don't even know them, and like it's just this thing. Seriously,
bro.
Yeah.
When I had my Jeep, I was driving around and people are just waving at me, and I'm like, why are people just randomly waving at me in other Jeeps? And it's this thing. It's called the Jeep wave, and like if you have a Jeep, you just you got your hand on the steering wheel and you're like, yo, that's a thing, right? The Jeep wave.
I've always wanted to, and I've actually done it before, but bikers also do that same thing, right? Instead of waving, they like put their hand down to the side of their bike, real cool, real nonchalant. Don't want to be like, oh, hi, guys, how you doing? You just want to be like, what's up, dude? And I know you can't see my hand, but if I would get a bike, I would totally go like this to everybody, every other biker that I'd saw. I'd be like, hi, guys, hi. Because I think it's just absolutely hilarious. But two, as far as that goes, I would never get a Jeep. Sorry.
Oh, man. Have you guys ever been antisocial enough that it takes you an hour to an hour and a half of motivational self-talk, just to make a phone call that lasts 45 seconds?
Oh, yeah. You have like you plan it out. I do that where I'm going to play out this conversation in my mind and I'm going to play both parties and like figure out each way that it could go. And then when you have it, it's like, oh, it was a yes or it was a no. Me and
Andy did. There was a work meeting. There was a decently important work meeting where me and Andy like met. We were doing this presentation that they had no freaking clue of. Like we were pulling it out of nowhere and like giving this presentation to the one of the higher guys, and we sit down and we're like, okay, me and Andy are like, okay, he's going to say this back, he's going to say that, and he's going to say this, and we're changing up the presentation. We got to the end of the presentation waiting for his questions, and he's like, that was pretty damn good. You guys hit on absolutely everything that I would. I was like, yeah, but that was a time where it actually worked out, right? Like, it was just decent. I know that was kind of off topic, but I just felt good about that, and I needed to share that story.
So you said that you have anxiety, right? And so like if the world fixes itself and we go back to an office situation, then how do you feel with that anxiety of then presenting in front of people and like talking?
Oh, I don't prepare for things like that because I will literally have a panic attack. Like I have to be the person that just and wings it, because there's no way, I don't even know why I'm bleeping certain times because other times I just let it flow. Anyway, like I have to just wing it. I do enough that like, I know, okay, the presentation's going to work, this, that, those types of things. But like, I'm not the one that's going to write out cards, do the speech 3 or 4 times ahead of time. I probably should, because I talk like an idiot sometimes, but.
And I'm currently in that scenario. I am presenting to people they're new hires within our company. And, I'm presenting to some pretty high up people for sure. Like one's a VP, right? So, but I don't really have the nerves or anything like that. One, because I know exactly what I'm talking about, so it just makes it really comfortable. Two, again, I would consider myself very friendly and social like that, so I'm comfortable talking to those people. But then also, I already have my presentations set up, so like everything is already there for me and already laid out. All I really need to do is get through some of the how's the weather today? Where are you located? All of this like random nonsense to basically try to comfort and get to know those people, I guess, since they're new hires. And then just boom, go right into the actual product trainings and stuff like that. I've been doing this for like 2 days straight, Tuesday and today. So it's a lot for sure.
Yeah. And I think to answer your question a little more, like, ironically, I'm starting to get to the point where I don't like working from home. Like if COVID was instantly not a thing in any way, shape, or form, conspiracy or not, or whatever the hell, if it was instantly wiped away and it was gone, I think I would, and we had the option, do you want to work from home or do you want to work from the office? I think I might work from the office at least half of the week.
Yeah.
Mostly because here's the deal. I started a new job a couple months back, right? Like I feel like I would be so far advanced in trying to figure out everything that we're trying to do if I was there versus like I'm like emailing these people. I have no clue if you even still work for the company, let alone what your title is or if this is your role. I'm just blanket emailing people to try to figure stuff out. I just feel like so disconnected from that piece. So like I need to be at an office to learn that side of things.
Yeah, I can see that.
All right, Ryan, you posed this question early on in our Discord chat between the three of us, not anybody else. You can't get into it. No, maybe later, not now. Give us $5 and I'll let you in. What is the most responsible thing that you've done recently or as an adult? And I'm going to cut out proposal, marriage, kids, like, so that way me and Andy, like, get all that off the table, right? All that's off the table. What is the most responsible thing you've done? I'm going to say, let's just make it easy. The last 12 months. In the last 12 months. Ryan, since you originally wrote this question, I feel like you had an answer. Go ahead.
Yeah, and did you cut out work related stuff?
No, just okay. Totally. The only thing I'm cutting out is like big life things that like have a kid, take care of your kid, work out, like that's stupid stuff.
All right, cool. So simple answer. I just took Camo out to take a shit like 20 minutes ago. Yeah, that's pretty much about it. I'm just kidding.
That's like a kid. That doesn't count.
Yeah. So right now we bought a company van. Right. This is a Sprinter van, Mercedes, the biggest one you could buy. You can walk inside of that thing without having to, crouch down. You fold up, stand vertical, and you're walking inside.
Oh, I think I know where this is going. You turned it into a mobile porn studio.
Yes.
That is responsible enough for me, especially since it was work. Absolutely not.
Oh, I thought you were just going to call it the Only Vans.
The Only Van.
Wow.
That's actually a good one. Nice job. I'll give you a round of applause on that one.
I literally just came up with that. But
that's where we need the round of applause thing.
Yeah.
Or the laughing or something like that. But essentially where I was going is I've been taking care of this van for the last like 2 weeks, essentially. I've been scheduling cleanings for it. I have to take care of the new registration and get plates for Arizona because the current plates are in New Jersey and stuff like that. I'm taking it to getting it wrapped to some people, which I didn't schedule, but I'm taking it there. I have to pick it up. I had to power wash it beforehand. So right now I'm just doing a lot of prep work on, a 100,000 plus minivan for our company, and I would say that's decently responsible, right, to take that in, especially since it's really not my responsibility to get that done.
Okay.
Mostly I was just, I'm the closest one to a lot of stuff. So I was like, you know what, I'll take that responsibility on so you don't have to drive an hour to get to different places. That's mine. I'd say that's decently responsible. Rate that on a 1 to 10. What do you give me? Comments in the chat, 1 to 10. What do you give me?
If I don't knock points off of it, because I feel like I need to knock points off of it because it's work related. You
Okay.
somehow, some way got paid for that. So like I'm gonna give you a 7. Like if it was just like, hey, my buddy needed me to go do this, then it would be a 10, right? Because you feel like you went but you got monetized.
Well, and I had a lot of family help me out in transportation, right? And another thing, I had to take it to the Mercedes dealership to get maintenance on it, right? I gave them all my contact information, all that good stuff. So another thing I had to do. But anyways, there's a lot of family and Corey involved in transporting this vehicle. I can't just drive it there and be like, get an Uber back. I could and have just the work pay for it. But Corey drove me places. My dad drove me places. So, out of a thank you, I had work pay for some lunch and some gas.
You should have just told your dad to like, hey, sign up for Uber real quick because you'll get like $100 signing bonus, and then I'll use you for like this week.
If only it happened that fast,
Yeah.
that would be great.
Andy.
So okay, a 7. All right, I'll take that. Andy, go ahead.
I got 2. One is calling and canceling a gym membership that I don't use. I felt very responsible for that because it had been at least 12 months since I signed myself up and had not gone. And then the second one is we recently bought some patio furniture. We bought this chair outside and it was a as is. And so they were like, oh, we ran out of this stock and you could buy the new. So it was a weird example. But anyways, it kind of doesn't swivel properly. So calling and telling them, hey, this isn't okay and you got to fix it. And I feel like a lot of people don't do that when you probably need to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And telling people that something isn't right when it's not right and making them make good on it, I feel was a responsible thing. So we end up getting an extra $65 off of the price. So
Damn.
I do that all the time. I have very high standards when it comes to products and aesthetics and looks and quality. My glasses, we talked about my glasses the other day. My glasses had bubbles and they were popping out of that's just shit quality. 100% I will call all the time if it's not what I bought.
Yeah. And if people don't do that because they don't want to come off as like, a Karen or I'm just a complainer and I'm looking for something for free. It's like, you sold me this and this is the expectation and you failed on delivering that. So you need to make right on it. And I'm not looking for something for free, but either take it back and let me buy something else and, give me a discount or whatever. But I think that people just don't do it out of fear. Maybe there's some antisocial anxiety of wanting to be confrontational.
Yeah,
but where the Karens, sorry, Ryan, go ahead.
I was just gonna say from the Karen standpoint, it's like you can be respectful and be like, hey, I really this just isn't working out for me. I know this isn't your fault, whoever you're talking to, but is there anything you can do for me? And try to get it fixed. Yeah,
that's exactly what I was gonna say. The Karens raise hell. We call and we're like, hey, I just want to let you know, just bought this like 5 days ago. It's really not like that great of quality. Wondering if you could help me out. Send me a new one. Check it out. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I can
help you out.
I can give you a ridiculous, example of this recently, and this isn't necessarily, hey, a bad customer service. It's just a bad business practice. For everybody that's been longtime listeners or knows me or Andy, they know that we've worked for Massage Envy. I worked for them for almost 10 years and work for other franchise companies where they're all membership based. So we are very keenly aware of what membership agreements say, how to enforce them, should you really enforce them, everything. Anyway, I have my pets go to PetSmart for Banfield for their checkups and everything else, and they're on a monthly reoccurring fee that gives you discounts and includes their shots and all this crap, which anyway. So 3 weeks ago had my oldest dog, had to put him down. So one of the calls the same day was to Banfield to let them know, which they were already aware that it was going to happen. And called, they were like, well, you got to call this other line in order to cancel the plan. So like, okay, call the corporate number, get this nice lady on the phone. And she's like, okay, well, what we do is your plan just renewed like 3 months ago, so there's still 9 months worth of service on it. So you can either pay that out or We can look at the bills that you've had in the last 2 months and pay the difference on if you wouldn't have had that thing. And like they almost came out to the same dollar amount. And I'm like, hey, I come on, this is some bullshit. Like I get what you're trying to do. I also feel like this is like the worst business practice ever for the deceased. That's like saying, hey man, Netflix, I'm sorry, my mom died. I don't care. I'm still charging that friggin' $19.99 a month. I don't care. Yeah, it's just like the dumbest thing ever. Like, come on. Remove the deceased clause should like eliminate it. Like, right? Like the deceased piece. So like I had to go down the route. Like they weren't gonna take anything off. Like nothing. I was like, okay, I got my other dog on another plan as well. When does hers renew? They're like, oh, April. I was like, good. Cancel it. You're never going to make another dollar off of me because you're forcing me to buy something that I won't ever use.
Yep.
So do you want to only make the $800 or do you want to make a few more thousand for the rest of the life of this dog while I have this dog? Well, sir, that's just not how it works. No, listen to the economics and you might want to go I was like,
Did you really say this?
I was like, I will cancel the plan right now. So they came back and they're like, well, we'll waive 2 months. I'm like, no. Then okay, I'll cancel it right now with the other animal as well. I'll pay you what you agreed to. I understand that it's in the fine print, but fine. They ended up like we compromised in the middle. So I don't feel like it was a total win, and I don't think they thought it was a total win. But hey, it's somewhere in the middle, and I still may cancel my other dog.
Yeah, I mean, at that point too, you're like, that's such shitty business practice, like you just said.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, like, come on. I get anything else. Like, if I just wanted to call and cancel it, but I'm like, do you need a copy of the death receipt from the euthanized people that just came to my house? Because I will.
Do you want me to send you a portion of his ashes?
Yeah. I'm like, I will gladly give you whatever you need to prove death. But anyway.
Yeah.
So
I hate that. That's too bad. Whenever that happens to me, I'm like, show me where I signed that.
Yeah.
Pull it up.
They would never be able to find the copies of anything anyway, because we've transferred between so many Banfields over the years. Anyway, mine, back to the most responsible thing besides deciding to have to put down a pet, which is very, very hard and responsible. Mine is probably, I had two, one of which is sitting behind me, like if I can point the right direction, like right here. I have a massive amount of data for everything that I do. Whether it's work related or side stuff, I have like, let's just say 10 terabytes of data just for my house that's sitting there. And I decided to upgrade my backup storage from just hard drives that were sitting around plugged in USB that keep getting knocked off of the desk by my son to officially stuff that's sitting behind me that I can actually back up and then offsite back it up. I know that's like sounds super lame, but I'm a tech guy, so that's like super huge for me to not do that. And I used to have it in the cloud. I'm like, I don't want to do that anymore. So
sounds fancy.
Yeah, it's too damn expensive. I spent too much money. But then the other piece that I would actually say responsibly wise is one of my goals for this year was just shitloads of side hustle stuff. Different ways, whatever triggered my brain that's like, hey, I want to go out and try this. And I'm actually going to try this. Some of the stuff me and Andy are working on. Some of the stuff that's just things that I've recently found that I'm like digging into. So I'm actually plowing really good through those ones. And I don't want to mention any of this stuff to anybody yet, but you'll find out later on.
Yeah, what are they?
Yeah, one is a
I'm just kidding.
One is a Reese cup that's filled full of whale semen.
Nice.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Is there a wait list for that? You can sign me up.
No, we're in clinical trials right now. But you have to have had the COVID vaccine. Okay. Yeah. Speaking of which,
Gives you like that sweet flavor.
yeah, we were gonna end it right here, but I gotta go on a weird conspiracy theory. Has anybody seen
God.
like all the videos of people getting the COVID vaccine? And I'm talking like people in their cars, and like they act like they're giving it to them, and then they turn the thing and squirt it out of the vehicle when they're done. Like the nurse is always like, "Okay, thank you," and it's always old people. Am I legitimately the only one that's seen a ton of those?
So I've seen some where they go to administer a shot, but there's no needle.
Yeah.
Where they're like, the press is like, oh my gosh, look, everybody's getting these shots, and then they zoom in and there's no needle, or that they did like it was kind of off to the side and then you saw them eject.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
yeah, like I've seen the press ones, and I'm like, okay, there's some weird stuff. Like, whatever, it's press. Like, I already got my shot, but we're gonna redo the damn shot so that way the video shot so it looks good on camera, so I can run this news story. Whatever, you know. But like, mine are all like these people taking stuff on their cell phone where it's sitting on the dashboard, and like you see this lady like, okay, all right, you know, and act like she's putting it in, and then okay, and then points it off screen. Like you don't even see it all the way off screen. It literally shoots out of the needle. And I'm not talking like a little bit. I'm talking like the quarter of the, you know, syringe is full of that crap.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is very interesting. That's probably not the first thing I'm going to go YouTube. So it's probably why I haven't seen any of that stuff.
Yeah. not just YouTube. I'm seeing it like
old
everywhere.
lady getting COVID vaccine shot. Oh, yeah, this is going to be nice.
Yeah. Anyway. All right, everybody. We appreciate everybody watching us, listening to us. As always, we record every Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Arizona time. Look it up. It's a weird time zone. Figure it out. We don't move. Everybody else moves around us. So join us on Twitch. You can also watch us afterwards on YouTube, and then the episodes will be posted on Thursdays. We appreciate everybody's time. And if you could do us a huge favor, like, follow, and share, or give us a review on the app that you're actually listening to the podcast on, Spotify or Apple, whatever one that you want to do. Appreciate it, guys, and we will see everybody next week.